Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now, today's episode, we are going to talk about the American Express Platinum Card and the $200 hotel credit you get along with the Fine Hotels and Resorts and the Collection program that American Express runs for certain cards. So, in today's episode, we'll cover the credit, we'll cover both the programs, then I'm looking for a hotel to stay at in New York for a few days. Coming soon, we will jump over to the computer and we will walk through how to use this credit, use Amex Travel to book one of these, and on the back end, we'll come out with final thoughts on what I think about the program and should you consider it. So, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button. Let's get to work. Okay, first things first, let's start off by defining this $200 hotel credit, then we'll jump into the programs themselves. So, I'll put it on screen, but back when the Platinum Card refreshed, American Express added in a $200 hotel credit. So, you can get this $200 hotel credit by booking via the Amex Travel portal. This is on prepaid stays. That will be important when we jump into the walkthrough. And this is specific to hotels in the Fine Hotels and Resorts program, FHR for short, or The Collection. So these are hotels that American Express has partnered with, put them into groups. In between the two programs, you get different perks depending on, which program you go with. Now we'll cover the programs in a second. So the credit overall is pretty easy to use. The thing to remember is it's just not like you can use it on any hotel and you can't use it. You can't just walk up to like an IHG or something and say, here's my Platinum Card. That's not going to trigger it. This has to be through the American Express Travel portal, which again, I will show you in a few minutes. Now, let's talk about the two programs themselves. So the credit's fairly straightforward. So you have Fine Hotels and Resorts, or FHR for short, and you have the Collection. So let's take FHR first. So Fine Hotels and Resorts. Now this works for the Platinum and Black cards, which means you can use this program anytime you want. The credit you're going to get is going to be obviously once a year that we just talked about, but if you like what you see, there's nothing stopping you if you have a Platinum or Black card for booking FHR hotels anytime. So they have 1,100 plus properties worldwide. Now, what you get, why would you want to use Fine Hotels and Resorts? Well, if you use FHR, you're going to get a room upgrade upon arrival when available at check-in. Now, properties may exclude some room types and some may only give you a room with a better view. Classic your mileage may vary disclaimer. You're going to get daily breakfast for 2 people, guaranteed 4 p.m. late checkout, noon check-in when it's available, complimentary Wi-Fi. When a property includes a Wi-Fi and a mandatory resort fee, you'll receive a daily credit equal to the Wi-Fi cost. There's also an experience credit. So this experience should be valued at $100 or more and usually consists of a property, dining, or spa credit. So that could be anything from like an extra dining credit or something like that. Now, the Collection is the next set or next program they have. And the Collection works for gold and platinum cards as well. So again, you could use this anytime. Now, you get a little bit less here. You can have a room upgrade at check-in when it's available. Up to a $100 hotel credit to spend on qualifying dining, spa, and resort activities. Now, the caveat here is you must stay 2 nights for these benefits to trigger. You can book it for just 1 night, but you're not going to get, the upgrade or the hotel credit. Okay, so there you have it. That is both the programs, FHR and the Collection. Now, let's jump over to the computer and we'll actually walk through how to book one and how to use the credit and all the options that you get. So, quick context for this booking. I'm headed to New York City probably in a week or so. Kind of waited to the last minute to do this booking, but anyways, I'm thinking, 1, since I have the credit, I might as well try to use it. Number 2, I'd probably get a better hotel, which I can make a better video about if we're being honest. And 2, I'm curious to see what they have. So that's kind of what brought this on. So that'll be the context I'm going through when we book this. So now that you have that, let's jump over to the computer, flip the view, and get some bookings going. All right, guys, and here we are. And this is the American Express Travel Portal. You get here just by logging into your normal account, then go into Rewards section. And you can also see I've selected the Platinum card. You can also do the Gold or the Delta as well, but just make sure you're on the card you actually want to use. And then here we have it. So book travel, we're going to look for hotels. I've already got the dates and the location plugged in just to save time. So let's go ahead and search. And after a rather lengthy loading screen, here we are. So now we've got all the hotels. Now this is going to give you all the hotels, period. So what you want to do, because again, we're trying to use that hotel credit, we want to come down here on the side and you see you have hotel program. So you can go FHR and the Collection. Now for this, I don't personally really have a preference, although I do think FHR is a little bit better. Now we can scroll down here a ways. I do care about one thing, and that's the fitness center. Obviously, adjust your filters as you want. So I'm scrolling back to the top here. I also, when I'm doing this, I like to filter by price because I am price sensitive. So you can see that put the highest price at the top, and that's not what we want. We want to go the other way. There we go, lowest to highest, okay? So now you're ready, and now you know everything that you're looking at is going to be in the program. It tells you right here, so this is the hotel collection. You can see a little platinum and gold icon right there for the cards that work. And if you ever forget, you can click on this and it will tell you the terms and conditions. Now again, for the collection, remember this right here, it must book at least 2 consecutive nights for this to work. So you can we covered all this, but if you ever forgot, you can come back here and check that out. So it tells you right there, you can see your prices or the amount of points because you can do cash and points. So we can scroll down a ways. Again, it's going to tell you the collection. Let's just find an FHR one to see if it's the exact same thing. So you can see FHRs are actually a little different color. These are blue, but it works the exact same way. Tells you everything that you would need to know that you get. Alright, so cheating a little bit, I went with this guy right here in the collection, this Hyatt, because it's 11 minutes from where I need to be. Now, not in love with the price, be honest, but we'll talk about that on the back end a little bit. But the rest of this works like a standard travel portal would look. I mean, you've got your pictures. We know it has a fitness center there, although for some reason they don't want to give me a picture of it. Apparently, there we go. Alright, so there, definitely, your muscles won't atrophy for 2 days. Alright, so really that's all I care about. Now, of course, in standard practice, you can come down here and you can see everything that they have going for them. Amenities, checkout times, all that good stuff. And of course, here's where you select your rooms and everything. So let's just do this for now. So now this is another important part because remember, the credit is only good for prepaid, and prepaid really just means you're going to pay now versus paying at the hotel. So if you're trying to redeem the credit, again, you just want to do pay now, and then you go through another probably lengthy loading screen. Okay, and through the power of video editing, here we are through another lengthy loading screen, but here you go. Here's your room breakout. Now, interesting enough, and is it worth noting, you're going to get 5x points back on the Platinum card because you're booking a hotel through Amex Travel, so that hurts a lot. You can see the actual cost of it because, again, your credits are going to be factored in after the fact. Now, interestingly enough, you can plug in a hotel loyalty number here. I've actually done this. I've already booked this to make sure I knew what I was doing before the video, and I plugged in my Hyatt number, and so far it hasn't seemed to show up in my Hyatt app. So your mileage may vary on that, but again, you can always go to the front desk when you get to your hotel and tell them your number. Normally they don't really care that you didn't book directly with them. So here we go. Here's the last section again. So you've got the option to use points plus card, use only your card, or monthly installments with Planet. You definitely don't want this one. I mean, there's no real need to book a trip if you can't cover it up front. Now, we'll cover the valuation on the back end. You don't get the best redemption here, so you might want to just use your card, honestly. I don't want to pay cash, though. So what we want to do here is when you're messing around with this, since you want to get the credit to trigger, you still need at least $200 to post onto your account. So you could just play around with the points total until you get the appropriate breakout. Remember, if you're trying to trigger the credit, you want to use this way because this is going to pay now. You can apply as many points as you feel comfortable with. Again, not the best valuation, but we'll talk about that after this. And just make sure at least $200 goes to your card. And once you do that, then obviously you can review and submit and book the room. So overall, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. So now let's flip it back around and give some final thoughts and valuations. Okay, and we're back. So there you have it. Overall, using Amex Travel is pretty straightforward. Site's a little bit slow, honestly, slow from my opinion. Now, overall thoughts on it, again, it's easy to filter. You can even add in the amenities like we saw. The one thing I'll say here is, I'm admittedly cheap when it comes to hotels. If you've been following the show for quite some time, then I'm perfectly comfortable at a category 2 or 3 Marriott. It's going to cost you like 20, 25,000 points. Spent all my life doing sports, showering in public locker rooms. So my threshold for what's a good bathroom, what's a good setup is really, really high. And if any of you guys have done youth sports all your life, then your threshold's probably up there as well. So, for me, again, I was trying to do this as an experiment. these properties are more expensive than a normal hotel, at least for me. Now, you might be watching this and telling me I'm cheap, and that's totally fine. Two things on this point. Number one, the points, if we do the math here on the redemption, I think it came out to be like, 75 cents on the dollar redemption. So if you're doing this, you might not want to use your MR points for this. It's not the best redemption. Like, just going off the points guide, we can generally assume transferring out MR points is going to give you like 2 cents per point. So this was definitely not the best redemption, but I definitely didn't want to spend cash for it. Now, another thing I bring up here is specific to the rest of 2021. There is also an American Express credit for the Platinum Card. There's a $200 travel credit that you get if you book through the travel portal. Now, I did confirm with American Express through chat that these two credits, the hotel credit that we're trying to redeem now and this $200 travel credit, are stackable. So if you notice, I might have touched on it when I did the camera flip deal on the site, when we walk through the booking, but I went with enough points to leave about $400 in cash due to hit my Platinum Card, and that is because I want to trigger both of those credits for $400 total. So just keep in mind that credit, the $200 travel credit, does not have to be used for hotels. It can be used for booking things through the travel portal, but it's only good through this year. Now, I believe if you still book it, for maybe like January, February of 2022, as long as the charge hits your card in 2021, that credit should trigger. So those are stackable, again, just for this year. So that definitely weighed into the decision as well. When I'm going in this, I'm like, I have $400 basically, so I might as well use it on that, use it or lose it type deal. That one will not be back in 2022. So overall, final thoughts here. I mean, from what I see, they have some nice hotels in there. I do think FHR has some nice benefits. In fact, I would say if you're going to stay at one of these places anyways, I would always spot check the rates, number one, on the their regular hotel site versus what Amex Travel is giving you, because the prices in Amex Travel, number one, they don't include taxes and fees when they show it to you up front. You can see those were added in later, which definitely makes the price jump up some. So double check those prices. But if you were going to stay there anyways, and not looking to do a points redemption or anything like that, then you might as well go through FHR, given prices are very comparable, because you can assign some level of value to early and late check-in. Room upgrades that they throw in a bunch of caveats. You may or may not get one. That may or may not mean something to you, but breakfast for two people, that is a money saver, especially depending on where you're going. So if all things are just about equal, then I would consider doing this. I've heard you get better redemptions in places like Vegas and things like that than New York. Again, I'm definitely not proud of the redemption we just got, but I do think it serves a purpose. It's convenient. Can make a video about it, use the $400 credit. Didn't pay too much cash, so I'm happy with it for those reasons. But anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and of course right back here every Sunday with a recap video. There's all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question to you guys is, let me know your experience using FHR or the collection. What do you think about it? Is this a credit that you like? Has your opinion changed on it, since American Express added it in, given what benefits the program gets? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Of course, if you want to see the upcoming travel content from this New York City trip, then feel free to subscribe. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.